seconds తర్వాత 1 వచ్చాక 20 seconds తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ చేయండి.
స్టార్ట్ సార్.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Secretary, sir, and Navani madam and Principal madam and students. Okay, we are going to learn about body fluids and circulation. Okay. Last class, respiratory system is completed by Rajkumar sir. Thank you, Rajkumar sir. Today we are discussing about body fluids and circulation. Our body fluids, how to circulate the body fluids. Okay, different groups of animals have evolved various methods for transport of substances between body parts. Okay, different group of animals, different types of animals are there, have evolved various methods, different types of methods for transport of substances between the body parts, between the one place to another place. Okay. Next, the simple organisms. In some simple organisms such as sponges and cnidarians circulate water drawn from their surroundings through their body cavity, facilitating exchange of these substances. Okay. Simple.
సార్ స్పీకర్ కొంచెం దగ్గర ఉంచుకోండి సార్. స్పీకర్ హెడ్సెట్ స్పీకర్ దగ్గర ఉంచుకోండి, కొంచెం వాయిస్ తక్కువ. ఓకే.
The simple organisms such as sponges and cnidarians circulate water drawn from their surroundings through their body cavities, facilitating exchange of these substances. Sponges, simple organisms are sponges and cnidarians. Circulate water, surrounding water enter into the body cavity. From the body cavity, the water is circulated throughout the body parts and facilitate exchange of these substances, also exchange nitrogen waste materials and oxygen also exchange. Next, the more complex animals require a circulatory system. More complex animals, developed animals, body parts are well developed animals, organ system level animals. More complex animals require a circulatory system. Circulatory system is developed complex animals. Next, the circulatory system is also called cardiovascular system. Circulatory system is an organ system that permits blood to circulate and carry nutrients, transport oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, and excretory substances, and regulate the temperature and pH and maintain homeostasis. Okay, the circulatory system is an organ system that permits blood to circulate all over the body parts and carry nutrients. Nutrients also carry the nutrients. Carry the nutrients from the small intestine. Digested food materials also carry and transport to the cells. Next, transport oxygen from lungs to cells, and carbon dioxide transport from the cells to or tissues to lungs or respiratory organs. Next, the hormones. The hormones secretes into the blood and transport to target organs or target tissues. Next, the excretory substances. Excretory substances also transport to excretory organ. Okay, and regulate the temperature, regulate the body temperature and pH and maintain homeostasis. The homeostasis means regulate the internal atmosphere, means ions and maintain the ions and uh, ions and water levels. Next, the blood and lymph are the only fluid tissues. Blood and lymph are the only fluid tissues. Now we are discussing about first blood. About the blood, discussing in already discussed in the last year, first year. Actually, the blood blood consists of the lymph, consists of the uh, blood and lymph are the only fluid tissues. Next, about the blood, already discussed in the first year. The blood contains the plasma and blood cells. The blood cells are two types, three types, RBC and WBC and platelets. Okay. Next, WBCs are granulocytes and agranulocytes. Next, the blood and lymph fluids are flows through the blood vessels. Blood vessels. Next, the blood vessels by the central pumping organ. The central pumping organ is the heart. Next, next topic: circulating pathways. Circulating pathways. Now, circulating pathways. The circulatory patterns are of two types. One are open type, another one are closed type. First one, open type. In this type, blood flows from the heart into the vessels. Hmm? In this type, blood flows from the heart into the vessels. The heart pumped blood into the vessels, blood vessels. The open type into large spaces called the sinuses. The blood freely flows in the body spaces. This type of circulatory system is called open type. Example, leeches, arthropods, molluscs, echinoderms, and ascidians. I will explain one second. In this type of blood flows from the heart into the vessels. The blood, the blood, the heart pump the blood into the blood vessels. The blood vessels open into large spaces. The large spaces are called this is the figure. The large spaces. This is the large space. The large space is called the sinuses. Okay. The blood freely flows in the body space. This is the body space. This type of circulatory system is called the open type. Next, in the large spaces means this is the body cavity. In the body cavity, in the large spaces, so many organs are present in the large spaces. The organs are bathed with blood. The organs are bathed with blood. This blood, which type of blood? Lymph, white blood. Hmm? White blood flows in this type of animals. Leeches, example leeches and arthropods, molluscs, and echinoderms and ascidians have open type of blood. Next, closed type. Closed type. In this type, blood flows through the blood vessels. Blood flows through the blood vessels and capillaries. Example, annelids and cephalopods and cephalochordates, all vertebrates. This is blood flows only. Closed type. Closed type. Blood flows through the only blood vessels, not open into the large spaces. Okay. This is the circulatory pathway. Next. Plan of circulatory system in the vertebrate. Plan of circulatory system in the vertebrate. Okay. In the vertebrate, the principal differences in the blood vascular system involve the gradual differentiation of the heart. Okay. In the vertebrates, the principal differences, all vertebrates, principal differences in the blood vascular system, and the different types of blood vessels and different types of hearts are there in between the vertebrates. Okay. First one, some animals have two-chambered heart. In some vertebrates, in some animals are three-chambered heart. In some animals are four-chambered heart. First of all, two-chambered heart. Okay. The fishes have the two-chambered heart with an atrium and ventricle. See this figure. This is the two-chambered heart. This is the fish heart. Okay. Only atrium and ventricle. Two chambers are there. Only two chambers are there in fishes. Okay. Next, the blood passes through the heart only once in a complete cycle and called single circulation. Means the blood passes through the heart only once, only one time, circulate through the heart. It is called the single circulation. Means the blood, deoxygenated blood received from the different parts of the body, and these deoxygenated blood enter into the gills. In the gills, deoxygenated blood converted into the oxygenated blood. From the gills, the blood is distributed all over the body part, because it is called the single circulation. Okay. Next, the heart pumps out deoxygenated blood to gills for oxygenation, and the name branchial heart. The branchial heart means the deoxygenated blood gives deoxygenated blood to gills for oxygenation, and the name is the branchial heart. The blood is enter into the deoxygenated blood enter into the gills, because the name is called the branchial heart. This is a two-chambered heart in fishes. Next, three-chambered heart. Next, three-chambered heart. The amphibians. The amphibians have a complete three-chambered heart with two atria, one ventricle. See this figure. Two chambers, two atria. This is the right atria. This is the left atria. Next, this is the ventricle. Only one single ventricle. Three-chambered heart in amphibians. Three-chambered have present in the amphibians only. The reptiles have two atria. Reptiles also have two atria and an incompletely divided ventricle. In reptiles, reptiles also have two auricles and incompletely divided three-chambered heart. But except crocodile. In crocodile, completely in four-chambered heart is there. Four-chambered heart is there. Okay. Next, the left atrium. In the three-chambered heart, the left atrium receives oxygenated blood. This is the left atrium. The left atrium receives the oxygenated blood from the gills or gills, lungs, or skin. Oxygenated blood from the gills, lungs, or skin. Next, the right atrium. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the other parts of the body through the vena cava. Okay, the left atrium receives oxygenated blood. Right atrium is receives deoxygenated blood. Okay, next, the two types of blood. The two types of blood mixed up in the single ventricle, which pumps out mixed type of blood. Okay, this is the left atria. This is the right atria. Left atria receives the oxygenated blood. Right atria deoxygenated blood. Both atria open into the ventricle. In the ventricle, both blood, oxygenated blood and deoxygenated, both are mixed in the ventricle. Okay, the two types of blood mixed up in the single ventricle, which pumps out mixed type of blood. Okay, next, these animals shows an incomplete double circulation, not complete double circulation. Incomplete double circulation means deoxygenated blood, oxygenated blood, both are mixed in the ventricle because this is incomplete double circulation. Okay, this is the three-chambered heart. Okay, next, four-chambered heart. Birds, okay, four-chambered heart. Birds and mammals possess four-chambered heart. Okay, birds and mammals possess four-chambered heart. Next, in these animals, the oxygenated the oxygenated and deoxygenated types of blood received by left and right atria. Left and right atria passes on to the left and right ventricle respectively. Okay. See this? In this animal, the oxygenated and deoxygenated types of blood received by the left and right atria passes on the left and right ventricles respectively. Okay, this is the right atrium. This is the left atrium. Okay, left atrium is the receive the oxygenated blood. Right atrium is the receive the deoxygenated blood. The atria passes onto the left and right ventricle. Right atria open into the right ventricle and left atria open into the right ventricle. Okay, next, the ventricles pump the blood out without any mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated types of blood. Okay, see why the right atrium, in the right atrium, oxygenated, deoxygenated blood open into the right ventricle. Next, left atria, oxygenated blood enter into the left ventricle. Do not mix the blood. Okay, the ventricles pumps the blood without any mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated types of blood. Okay, hence these animals are said to be showing double circulation, namely systemic and pulmonary circulation. Okay, these animals are said to be showing the double circulation. Why? Double circulation means separate. Right atrium enter into the right ventricle, left atrium enter into the left ventricle. Do not mix the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Okay, this is the four-chambered heart. Okay, next. four-chambered heart. The four-chambered heart, example, birds and mammals. Okay, birds and mammals. Now, in this lesson, we discussed about the human heart. Human heart in this lesson. This is a very, very important in public examination for 8 mark question. Structure of the heart and working of the heart two are very, very important. Now, structure of the human heart. Okay. The heart is the human heart is a mesodermal origin. Mesodermal origin. It is thick walled, muscular and pulsating organ situated in the mediastinum. Okay. The heart is mesodermal origin. Means the germinal layers are three types: ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. The heart is originate from the mesodermal origin. Okay. Next, it is thick wall. The walls are thick, thick muscular. Means made up of the muscles. Which muscles? And cardiac muscles. And pulsating organ. This is the pulsating organ. Heart is pulsating organ situated in the mediastinum. Situated in the mediastinum. Mediastinum is present in between the two lungs. In thoracic region, in between the two lungs. Okay. Next. It is of the size of a clinched fist. Hmm? Clinched fist size. Next, the heart is covered by a double walled pericardium, which consists of the outer fibrous pericardium and the inner serous pericardium. Okay, the wall of this is the wall of the heart. Okay, this is the wall of the heart. The wall is covered. The wall is covered by double layer. Double layer. In the double layer, which consists of the outer fibrous layer, pericardium, and inner serous pericardium. This is the fibrous pericardium. This is the inner serous pericardium, and fibrous pericardium. Okay. Next, the serous pericardium is double layered, formed of an outer parietal and an inner visceral layer. Okay. The the serous pericardium. The serous pericardium is double. This is the double layered. The serous pericardium is double layered. In this outer is the parietal layer. This is the parietal layer, and this is the visceral layer. This is the visceral. This is the parietal layer. In between the visceral layer and parietal layer, in between the small cavity is there. Two layers are separated by a narrow pericardium, which filled with the pericardial fluid. Okay. In between narrow pericardium. This is the narrow pericardium. In between the two layers. This is the narrow pericardium. Is there the narrow pericardium filled with the pericardial fluid? Okay. Filled with the pericardial fluid. This fluid reduces friction between the two membranes. Reduces friction in between the two membranes and free movement of the heart. The heart moves freely in this cavity. Okay. Next, the wall of the heart. The wall of the heart consists of the three layers. Okay. The wall of the heart consists of the three layers. One is the epicardium. Outer layer is the epicardium. Middle is the myocardium, and internal is the endocardium. Okay, three layers: epicardium, myocardium and endocardium. Okay. Next, this is the okay. Next, external structure of the heart. Okay, the external structure of the heart. The human heart has 4 chambers. Two.
Sir, please say loudly.
Okay, okay. A human heart has 4 chambers. 2 smaller upper chambers called atria and 2 larger lower chambers called ventricles. Okay, the human heart has 4 chambers. Okay, the the upper chambers, these are the lower chambers. The upper chambers are called the atria and lower chambers are called the ventricles. Okay. Next, the atria and ventricles are separated by a deep transverse groove called coronary sulcus. Atria and ventricles. This is the atrias. These are the ventricles. Both are separated by deep grooves. Deep grooves. It is called the coronary sulcus. Okay. This is the coronary sulcus. Next, the ventricles are separated by 2 interventricular grooves. 2 interventricular grooves. Okay. Both these are the ventricles. Right ventricle and left ventricle. The both ventricles are separated by interventricular grooves. Interventricular grooves, longitudinally divided. Okay. Interventricular groove. Next, this is the external structure of the heart. Okay. Next, the internal structure of the heart. This is the very, very important one, internal structure of the heart. First, actually, the human heart has the 4 chambered heart, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. And okay, first of all, atria. Atria are the thin-walled receiving chambers. This is the right atrium. This is the left atrium. Both atrias are thin-walled. The walls are thin. These are the receiving chambers, blood receiving chambers. These 2 chambers are the blood receiving chambers. Next, the 2 atria are separated by thin interatrial septum. By thin interatrial septum. Okay, this is the right atrium, this is the left atrium. Both atrias are separated. This is separated by, both are separated by the thin interatrial septum in this area, interatrial septum. Okay. Next, in the fetal heart, the fetal embryonic heart, the atrial septum as a pore called foramen oval. In this region, in between the 2 atria, are separated by the atrial septum. The atrial septum, the fetal atrial septum as one pore. One pore is present in atrial septum. It is called the foramen oval. Okay. Next, normally the foramen oval closes at birth. The foramen oval in this region, foramen oval closes at birth when lungs become functional. It is represented by a depression in the septum between the right and left atria called fossa ovalis. Actually, the foramen oval closes at birth. Closes at birth. Why? The lungs become a functional. When the lungs become a functional, the foramen oval is closed at birth. Now it is represented by a depression. A patch is present in between the atrial septum. The atrial septum, the right and left atria is called the fossa ovalis. Okay, next, if the foramen oval does not close properly, it is called patent foramen oval. Okay, sometimes does not close properly. The foramen oval does not close properly. It is called the patent foramen oval. Okay. Okay. Once again, I am repeat. In between this is the left atrium. This is the left atrium. This is the right atrium. In between the two atrium, uh, atrial septum is present. Two atria are separated by the atrial septum. The atrial septum as a in the embryonic stage, one pore is there. It is called the foramen oval. Next, the foramen oval is closed at birth. When lungs become the functional, it is represented by a depression in the septum between the right and left atria is called the fossa ovalis. Okay. If the foramen oval does not close properly, it is called patent foramen oval. Okay. Next. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body through 3 caval veins, like 2 precaval veins and 1 postcaval vein. Okay. The right atrium, this is the right atrium. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body, 3 caval veins, like 2 precaval veins. This is the precaval vein. This is the postcaval vein. Okay, 2 precaval vein and 1 postcaval vein. Okay, vein. The heart also receives blood from the myocardium through the coronary sinus. Okay, the heart also receives the blood from the myocardium. The heart also receives blood from the wall of the heart. Which part? The myocardium. From the myocardium through the coronary sinus. Okay. Next, whose opening into the right atrium is guarded by the valve of sebaceous. Okay. Whose opening the right atrium, the guarded by the valve of the sebaceous. The coronary sinuses open into the right atrium. These are guarded by the walls of sebaceous valve. Okay. The opening of the postcaval vein is guarded by the valve of the eustachian valve. Opening of the postcaval vein. This is the postcaval vein open into the right auricle. Okay. These are guarded by the eustachian valve. Okay. Guarded by the valve of the eustachian valve. Next, it directs the blood, the left atrium through the foramen oval in the fetal stage. But in the adult, it becomes rudimentary and non-functional. Okay, it directs the blood, left atrium through the foramen oval in the fetal stage, but in the adult, it becomes a rudimentary and non-functional. Okay, in the fetal stage, blood left atrium to enter into the right atrium through the foramen oval in fetal stage. Okay, next, but in the adult, it becomes a rudimentary. In the adult stage, it is a reduced and a non-functional. The foramen oval is reduced in the adult stage are non-functional. Okay. Next, the opening of the precaval vein into the right atrium has no wall. The opening of the precaval vein. The precaval veins open into the right atrium, but there is no valve. Guarded by no valves are there. Okay. Next, the left atrium receives blood from each lung through two pulmonary veins which open into the left atrium. Okay. The left atrium, this is the left atrium. The left atrium is, is receives blood from the each lung through the two pulmonary veins. These are the two pulmonary veins. Okay. Pulmonary veins which open into the left atrium. These two pulmonary veins receive the blood from the lungs and open into the left atrium. Okay. Next, the atria and ventricles are separated by a membranous atrioventricular septum, which possesses left and right atrioventricular apertures. Okay. These are the atrias, these are the ventricles. Atrias, ventricles are separated by atrioventricular septum in between the atria and ventricles. Both are separated by atrioventricular septum, which possesses left and right atrioventricular apertures. Means left atrium open into the left ventricle through the one aperture, and right atrium open into the right ventricle through the one aperture. Okay, apertures. Next, the left and right apertures are guarded by bicuspid and tricuspid valves respectively. The bicuspid valve is present in the left atria and ventricles, and tricuspid is the right atria and ventricles. Okay. Next, the left. Next to ventricles. The ventricles, these are the thick-walled blood pumping chambers separated by an interventricular septum. These are the thick-walled. The atria are the thin-walled. The ventricles are thick-walled. These are the blood pumping chambers. Atrias are blood receiving chambers. Ventricles are the blood pumping chambers separated. These both are separated by an interventricular septum. Okay. These are the ventricles. This is the left ventricle. This is the right ventricle. These walls are the thick walls. Next, both are separated by an interventricular septum. Both ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. Okay. Next, the wall of the left ventricle is thicker than that of the right ventricle. The wall of the left ventricle's walls are thicker than right ventricle. This is the left ventricle's walls are thicker than the right ventricle. Okay. Next, the inner surface of the ventricles. The inner surface of the ventricles is raised into muscular ridges or columns, as called the column cornea. Okay. The inner surface of the ventricles. Inner surface of the ventricles or surface of the ventricles is raised into muscular ridges or nodules or columns. You are called the column cornea, column, cornea, ridges. This is the ridges, this is the column, corneas. Next, the column corneas projecting from the inner walls of the ventricles. Some of these ridges are large and conical and are called papillary muscles. Okay. These are the papillary muscles. Yes, the column cornea projecting the column cornea. These column cornea are projecting from the inner walls of the ventricles. Inner walls of the ventricles. Some of these ridges are large. Some are the large. Some are the short. The large. The large and conical shaped structures are called these are the papillary muscles. Okay. Next, the papillary muscles apex are connected to the chorda tendae or heart strings. Okay, the papillary muscles. These are the papillary muscles. The papillary muscles apexes and regions are connected to the chorda tendae. Chorda tendae or heart strings. These are the chorda tendon or heart strings. These are the papillary muscles. Okay. Next. They are cord-like collagenous.
Thank you, sir. Narendar, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Narendar, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello,
Okay.
students. We will come back with you with good video, with good audio. Sorry for the disturbance. Thank you.